Of course, there's a lot of folks on the right that hope that he's not governor when the Santa Ana winds come later this fall. One of them is Larry Elder. He's been all over the place tonight. He ended his night in Costa Mesa. That's where Gina Silva is live for us tonight. Gina.
Well, Alex, I can tell you that Larry Elder was late. He arrived about an hour after he was scheduled to give a speech at the Hilton in Costa Mesa. Now, while his supporters talked a lot about voter fraud, Larry decided to focus on Gavin Newsom.
My honor to introduce the next governor of California, Larry Elder.
At a small gathering in Costa Mesa, Larry Elder thanked his supporters and reminded them to remain positive.
I've been asked all day, will you accept the results of the election? I said, you're asking the wrong question. I said, will Gavin Newsom accept the results of the election when he loses?
The 68-year-old recall Republican candidate proceeded to bash Governor Newsom, calling him an abstract failure at nearly everything.
I looked at the way this man shut down this state while ignoring science.
Look at the billions he has spent on the homeless, and he has only gotten worse.
We have rising crime, for crying out loud.
His supporters say they, too, have had enough of Governor Newsom. This woman, who asked us to only use her first name, says she was a Democrat, but not anymore.
Mr. Newsom demonstrated his disregard for all of Californians by oppressing us, shutting down our businesses, shutting down our schools, while he dined sumptuously.
But if you look at California, we're in the bottom of many metrics. Education, we have rampant homelessness, we have businesses that are fleeing because of taxes. It's not a business-friendly state. We have homeowners leaving because it's not friendly for anyone, really.
I think I've run a campaign of integrity. I haven't dissed on my Republican rivals. I've tried to focus on the target, and the target is Gavin Newsom because of the way he shut down the state.
What are the solutions, though? You do speak a lot about the problems, but what are the solutions?
You run out of questions?
Never do. Elder never answered the question. Instead, he posed for pictures and urged everyone to get out and vote.
This is all about turnout. Because if we turn out to vote, we win.
And of course, it's just a few hours away. The recall election is tomorrow. The polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. And of course, we'll have full coverage of the election. Alex, I'll send it back to you in Long Beach.
All right, Gina, we know tomorrow night you will be with Larry Elder in Costa Mesa at his election viewing party. Of course, Larry Elder, not the only challenger on the ballot. Another one of the high-profile names is Kevin Faulconer, the former mayor of San Diego. We spoke earlier today in Beverly Hills. He was in town as part of his campaign, trying to make an appeal to Democrats as well. Here's what he said when I asked him for his final pitch.
Time to get out and vote. This election is all about the future direction of our state, and something I feel very, very strongly about, being able to bring together Democrats, Republicans, and independents to actually make a difference, make our state more affordable, make our state more livable.
So tomorrow is the last day to vote. You have to be in place by 8 o'clock at a polling place for your voice to be counted. And we are going to have continuous coverage all throughout the day and results coming in live here tomorrow night at 10. More from here a little later in the show, but now more news with Christine.
Well, Alex, a big spotlight for the nation to take a look at California's recall election. A lot of people have already voted. What do you think it did to have Biden here?
It's undermining, or it's hitting on that point, which we talked about a moment ago, which is that there are so many more Democrats in this state than there are Republicans. Larry Elder's point that if we turn out the vote, we win, is not actually true because there are so many more people on the other side. If Democrats turn out the vote, they win. And so Biden here, who is a hero to Democrats, not to Republicans, but to Democrats, helps motivate Democrats to get out and vote.
Yeah, those that haven't mailed in their ballot, they can still do it or go tomorrow and vote. All right, Alex, thanks so much.